Dr. Owusu Ochoa. It's Dr. O for the 804. As the premier knee and hip shoulder sports surgeon in Virginia, I would like to remind you that health equals power. Sports build and uplift communities, nothing else can. The mission of sports medicine is to keep athletes of all ages and levels at the top of their game. Dr. O is located at Ortho, Virginia, Schrader Road office location. Appointments can be scheduled online at orthovirginia.com or by calling 804-939-6688. You can follow Dr. O on Instagram at Dr. O _ for the 804 and uplifting educational content about sports health.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Rick Stockel. I am co-owner of Newman & Dunn Real Estate here in Central Virginia, as well as I am a high school boys basketball coach at Monacan High School. I've sold over 1,300 homes here in Central Virginia, and I would love to work with you and your family in your home buying needs. I am a proud primary sponsor of Ballin in Virginia, and I hope you enjoy this show.
Welcome to another episode of BallinVA. This feels a little different because I'm going to start it off before I say that. I'm your host, Lee Merritte, bringing y'all all the hits, man. Today, I have a special guest. I know this guy. I know him, but I don't know him because we got the same circles and stuff like that. But this man is 20. I'm going to give him 25 years in the game of helping kids in the community. And that's what we about here. And we will give him a special shout out, Mr. Duron Carter of Assist Student Athletes.
Man, thank you, Lee. Appreciate you.
That's a long time coming.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor. I'm really, very fortunate, and just glad to, talk about the program.
No, yeah, because you've been reaching out to me for a while, man, and you've been so genuine. When I told you, I said, hey, you know what, we'll bring you on and stuff like that, and you've been very appreciative of that. But today this feels funny, man, because we're in the studio, a new studio, and you're my first guest.
Yeah.
In the new studio.
Yes. I remember you telling me that too. So that's another honor. I mean, so this, I'm greatly appreciated. I'm ready to rock and roll. I appreciate everything.
Yeah, man. No, see, you should be kind of like, for me, it's like I should be honored because honestly, you've been helping a lot of people, and for a long time, we know what you do. We see you around. Put it this way. When you see you coming walking the gym, you know it's an important game or important something. Like, if I know you ain't there, I'm going to be like, this game probably ain't it. You never thought of it like that, right?
Yeah.
But we know that, like, say, for instance, there's like a Thomas Dale or let's say with Thomas Dale girls and Manchester girls is at the height. If you were at that game, people know that it was important. And I'm speaking for myself, not him. He's not saying this. This is just what I see. But if we had a Hanover Armstrong game, most likely, unless you're there to help a student assist, most likely you probably won't be there because there's nobody that reached out to you where you probably help them. Would I be correct in saying that?
Yes, you're correct.
All right.
Correct.
I want to clean that up because I don't want to make it seem like he won't go to none of the schools because they'll be like, Lee said that he wouldn't. Well, that's not what I said, we didn't do that. But yeah, man, getting right into it, where did it start for you, man, from day one? Give us kind of background, where mom, dad, brother, sister, what gets you started to what you wanted to do, like starting Assist?
I felt like when I graduated college at the early age of like 22, at Bridgewater, when I first got back home, as any typical young adult, you just want to see what could you do in the community. So I finished my collegiate year, playing basketball. My brother was a high school senior.
Okay.
So he was a unsigned senior.
Okay.
Shout out to him. So what I did was I took him to a couple of visits. Just calling coaches and different things. And then initially put him into a junior college called Dundalk right up in Maryland.
Maryland, yeah, outside of Baltimore.
Outside of Baltimore. So that was my first kid that I helped place was my actual, little brother. So when I did that, I was realizing like, oh, I think I got a niche. So I kind of like, I started subbing at, Richmond Public School, just, have a job and everything, and, did some, counseling and different things. But, my mentorship, just started working with kids, try to learn like different things. So so that my '04 group, I would take them, like Fork Union, different places that nature, and, different junior colleges and programs of that nature. So, and back '04, helped place about like 8 to 10 kids, different schools of that nature. So the following year, I started doing open gyms, where I used to invite coaches, like shout out to Coach Lawson in Petersburg. He the AD now. Just had different open gyms at different venues, and that's when it started to get bigger. Where I invite kids, didn't charge them, just told had college coaches watching the kids and different things of that nature. That's why I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I got something going on right here. So that kind of put my name out there. So like '06, Stephen Lewis did when he was at Titus Back.
Titus Back, yeah, shout out to Stephen Lewis. Saw him last night, matter of fact.
Yes. He blessed me and kind of like put me on a pedestal, doing a newspaper article, with me in my young career, doing different things of that nature, and it just started to skyrocket from there, like a nice history. Also, George Will was another guy. He's the coach. He the volleyball coach at I can't think.
All right, but it comes to you.
It'll come to me, but he the volleyball coach and head coach, one of the assistant coaches at John Marshall now. So he really helped me too, as far as like setting up the open gyms at George Will, different places of that nature. And then it just started growing from there.
Wow, so you just had a natural, just because of what happened to your brother, you saw so you did it for a love, really.
Yeah.
Because your brother, was going through the struggle of the process of trying to get recruited, and you saw something that maybe you can try to help him out just by picking up the phone, just calling and reaching out to people.
Yes.
And from that point, he was like, well, dang, this works. And it just kind of I never knew that. So you use your own family member and to prepare yourself. That's neat, man, because a lot of people wouldn't just do that. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start. So that's good that you just had it's almost like it was destined for you to do something like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I felt like just growing up, like at the Boys and Girls Club, on Robinson Street, and I think that helped me too as far as the nonprofit aspect of it.
Okay.
And the mentorship.
Okay.
Like people that I looked up to when I was a kid.
Okay.
Kind of initiated, of that process too, because one of the guys, his name was McFarland, and I was a Huguenot, and then I felt like I needed another prep year, so he got in contact with some people that kind of give me a high grade military academy for a post grad year.
Okay.
So that I think just dealing with different resources and different things, kind of when I got older, helped as well. I mean, a lot of people for real though, but
Wow. Like I said, that's again, this is something new, man.
Yeah.
So, well, let's go into this, man, because you mentioned the boys' club. So I want to send you kind of gave me the perfect segue to go right into these questions. So, what is your background, and how did basketball impact your life?
Man, the Richmond city is a great tradition of basketball.
I agree. Definitely agree with that.
When I grew up, when I think I was in elementary school, you had the greats like Kendrick Warren, Milton Bell, you know, it was just destined. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was always good in basketball. I think I was great when I was in my 10, 11. I was good. You know, it put tears in my eyes. So I was I was I was I was great when I was 10 or 11. I think like Jason Nelson, you know, his son played with Youngtown State, Mike Pullen. They were like, Duron, man, you you going to the league, because I was like a point guard, you know, playing all positions, and you know Chris Moss, like,
Bird,
you know,
Alfie
so
Bird.
you know me and him when we went to the VCU, me and him was the top two players at the VCU Sonny Smith camp. I mean,
This is when y'all were younger.
this when we was younger, you know, so that kind of helped me. You know, so I started out, you know, playing at the Boys and Girls Club. You know, I played middle school, played with Elcott Fletcher Johnson. He been very inspirational to me. He actually was my college coach at State too, but at the time he was my middle school coach, and he had that tough love. You know, as that you know, so I felt like that was very embracive. We won my eighth grade year. We won you know, in middle school it was like during that time in the '90s, it was tough to win a middle school championship. When you're going against Henderson, Albert Hill, you know, so we know we won a middle school championship.
And what school, middle school you went to?
Elcott. It's in
yeah,
River
Elcott.
City.
Yeah, River City.
River City.
Yeah, my son played there. Reed played there. So
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, the Elcott.
The box. Yeah, my
the
son
box.
played there. Yeah.
The box, the tradition.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt like that was very that was real you know, inspirational. Shout out, you know, shout out to my father. I think he was a very, you know, very inspirational for my basketball upbringing. He made sure he took me to the AAU practices, to my high school. You know, he passed away 6 years ago. But
Yeah, I remember that, man.
you know,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah.
Bro.
But God got him, you know what I mean? So he was very inspirational. You know, so Elcott, you know, I was there. One of my best friends was actually David Terrell. So me and David Terrell went to Elcott. We was in the same class. He was a little older, but we was in the same class. You know, so following his year, you know, my eighth grade year, he was that good. People don't realize that he was he was better in basketball than he was at football at one time.
Yeah, he was. He was.
You know, so
When he was younger.
yeah, so you know, following his footsteps, he was on JV, and we still won the middle school championship. He was on JV at Huguenot.
Okay.
So when I went to Huguenot, I think Huguenot changed it with Coach Jones, man. My freshman year, it was just different. You know what I mean? You know, you had Bo, you had Kareem Richburg, Derek White. You know, you had Johnny Washington. You had all those guys, Big Reggie Rose. So my freshman year, looking at them, you know. So you know, they started out having me at JV. At the end of my freshman year, they moved me up on varsity. You know, but before that, you know, I had the opportunity to see them play Oak Hill with Ron Mercer. You know, so that whole was an embracive moment. You know, so that was a good experience. So sophomore year, you know, Coach Jones was like, "Card, I'm gonna start you." I'm like, "Huh, me?" You know, like, cause
But what grade was you in there?
my 10th grade
10th
year.
grade year? Okay.
You know, we had Bo, we had Tyree Locke. He was the transfer from Philadelphia for that 1 year.
Okay.
So he came in. We had Sean Kelly, David Terrell, and myself. So that time, everybody was good. I'm talking about like everybody. I'm talking about like,
And this year would have been what, 90?
that was 95, 96.
Yeah.
Everybody
was good back then.
Everybody.
Yeah. This won't know.
This one, Cupcake.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was good. So, you know, to put me in the starting lineup, it was a blessing. But I had to put the work in, like, you know, because you know, like our first game we played TJ.
Okay.
You know, so Ollie Claiborne, you know, that was like a big brother to me. So I'm 14, 15 going against guys 18, 19, like grown men. Henry Harrison, Steve Marshall, those type. I mean, it was Rob Allen.
And people really don't know how close Dave Terrell and Henry Harrison was.
Yeah, they family.
Like people who don't know, but you can go.
Yeah, they family. And so we played. Man, this is funny. We played the first game. We played TJ, and I mean, my boys and girls club friends was in the West End.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they knew I'm in the South Side. So they said, Carter checking Henry. Oh, Henry, you need to do, do Duron, man. He ain't gonna be able to check. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get eat up by this man about to drop like 20, 30 on me. You know, but we actually won that game. You know, Bo had 40. I think Bo had 42 that game.
Good God, Bo.
We actually won that game, but after that, you know, it was just a learning experience because everybody we played, I don't care if it was Monacan, Prince George, Kennedy, John Marshall. I mean, like Clover Hill. You know what I mean?
Even Clover Hill.
Midlothian, River.
They were competitive.
Douglas Freeman with Colin and Sean Moodle Lee. Everybody was good. Everybody was good. So I had the opportunity to look at all that. You know what I mean? So I had the opportunity to look at all that as far as like you know, in the pro-am. You know what I mean? When I was in middle school watching Kendrick Warren play. And even, you know, in the opportunity, you know, playing like even after when I was playing college ball, playing with Ben Wallace's team for like 4 years, you know, playing with Milton Bell and them at the wide different areas of that nature. So I had to kind of like grew up in the 804 basketball during the prime. During the prime, you know, like even our sophomore year, like my sophomore year when we lost to Hopewell, we couldn't beat them dudes, man.
Hopewell was always good.
Yeah, we couldn't beat Monsanto Pope. And when we went in there, it was like going to play like Duke, like it was like a Duke University, like it was like Duke.
This interview was meant to happen.
It was like Duke. It was like Duke.
Let me tell you something to you. I'm gonna stop you right there. And I hope a certain group of people see this interview when this interview happened, right? Because it's very personal. And you just said something that makes sense. When you walked into certain gyms in certain schools, you knew you had to bring your game that night, right? You know it won't easy walking into to Hopewell or to a Petersburg, and you guys being from Huguenot. Because you knew that, hey, man, the crowd and everything else on the side, you seen a lot of guys on the sideline and stuff coming in there. It was different back then.
Different, man.
And I think that's what you try to convey, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, when you're talking to these kids, when you're saying, when the kids are coming to you, and I'm kind of teetering back and forth, but when you're saying to the kids, hey, the school is looking for this, you got to have this. You may think that you at this fit, but I played in an era where it was tough and you had to kind of do these things, and playing in those certain environments brought that out of you. These kids today are playing in a totally different environment to where if you can walk into Hopewell, it ain't the same Hopewell it was back then.
Man, it was like it was an atmosphere, man.
Yeah,
it's like
different.
Going to Duke.
Right, like you said, it's going to Duke. It was crazy. So it's people all over the gym, people all on the floor. Duke is people that does stuff like this. So I don't think today's climate, unless at least in Richmond, Virginia, we don't have that climate today.
Nowhere near.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, nowhere near. Like we had to play Armstrong.
Right.
I already know, like
you
Raymond Postel, Kennard White. Like, I mean, it was just the old Armstrong. It was just
the old Armstrong,
it was
right?
Different,
right?
On 31st Street, it was just
right?
Different.
Yeah,
it was different, man.
Because the court, because the crowd, the bleachers, everything was closer to the floor.
Closer to it.
It ain't this stuff that's so far back and the people way up there and stuff like that. It's different, and that's what I was trying to convey recently where I try to tell people, it's one thing you playing in a comfortable environment versus you going to play in a hostile environment to where you may act a certain way or be this way here, but when you go to a Hopewell or a Petersburg or the Armstrong, you're not going to be the same type of person. And I think that the generation of these days, and it's not their fault that they don't understand that.
Hey, Lee, even we played with. When you and I played with,
You knew what that game was going to be.
you know what that game was going to be.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, that was a Southside rally packed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Lamar Gregg, Luke, you know what I mean? It was a packed atmosphere, You right there with Malofin Village at, right there.
Right.
Right in the hood.
Right. So you already knew what you were going to be dealing with.
Yeah, you already know what you
So
were
yeah,
dealing
so
with.
because if you win that game, it's a possibility those guys called the street gonna be waiting for you outside.
Yes.
So then
Yes.
you gotta have a police escort or something to get on the
Yes.
bus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we ain't seeing it, and I think it humbled us.
Yes.
To be more appreciative to do what you do and what I do today.
Yes.
Because even though we're trying to kind of recreate it in a sense, but we're just trying to kind of help people because of our passion of what we went through.
Yes.
Today, I don't think that, and this is just me personally and how I see it, it ain't the same because those battles and those atmosphere are just not what we're used to now. We kind of trying to recreate it, but it ain't that. So you just kind of, brought some things back to me on that one. Man, so that was some good talk.
So yeah, I mean, I know, like my first two, I played at Virginia State 2 years. Last two, played at Bridgewater. I spent a year a postgrad at Hargrave Military Academy.
Okay.
So that kind of helped.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hargrave, man.
How was it? Was it military, right?
Yeah, I wish I would have took the advantage of it. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
And even though I finished my college career, but I felt like if I would have stayed, I think I could have went division. I had Division I offers offer. Like it'd be a sick. I was there with Josh Howard and David West.
Right.
Kevin Keats he's coach at North Carolina State, so I was there with them three. He was the assistant coach. So, Josh Howard and David West. Both of them played in the NBA over 10 years.
Josh Howard did Wake Forest. Yeah.
David West with Xavier played at Golden State.
Golden State in his later years.
And that's what I try to tell kids too. I was like just a guy playing my role, underrated, want to get opportunity. So, man, we had practice at 6 in the morning. It's like 20 to 30 Division I coaches in the gym every single day because of those two guys. And we had like 4 or 5 other guys, Division I prospect. But they only can pick one school.
Right.
So, I'm talking about like you name it, like North Carolina, VCU, all of them was in there.
So you figure that if he don't pick their school, they can come over here.
Yeah, they come over there. You know what I mean? Like the Norfolk States, no disrespect to UNC Greensboro.
Right.
They come in that. So that experience that I had, with that kind of helped me with the process as well. As far as like what I'm doing today, you know what I mean? Seeing the work you got to put in, you got to do 20 suicides in 20 minutes and different things of that nature. Playing at Virginia State with Coach Booker for 2 years at Fletcher with my middle school coach. He was the assistant coach. That helped me too because I felt like first year we was okay, it was all right. But our second year we was pretty good because we had like 6, 7, Division I transfers or JUCO transfers. So, even today, back during that time, it always was, was still, with the transfer portal process too. So it kind of, but then my experience helped me deal with, guys that's like LeVar Griffin. We was teammates at State. He the head coach at Oscar Smith.
Okay.
Just trying to, build camaraderie with different type of guys and different experiences. So,
Oh, that's dope, man, because that gave us a background and some context that we really didn't know about, of how some of these coaches that you are connected to, because you actually were former teammates, or you had some dealing with them, maybe playing against them or so forth. So,
yes.
so that's good. Go to my next question. Since you was talking about some of the guys that you played with, and I know it's a lot, but who are some of the girls and guys that you have worked with over the years?
Man, one of my favorite story is Greg Pearl.
Alden.
Alden. That's my favorite story.
Tell us why. I want to sit here. We want to get this one.
That's my
I
favorite.
think I kind of got an idea, but let's kind of go over that.
Like I've been knowing his dad for a while, at the Wilds, different things, and Greg was a great kid in high school. He can play. He just was on the radar.
Right.
So he didn't really have really no offers because he was just on the radar. Just a little bit on the radar.
That 17 class was a very tough class.
That was a tough class.
For guards.
So what I liked about him was that he, I met with him, told him, look, man, I want to help you, man. And he was all in, so he just bought in, so, we did like a profile for him.
Okay.
I had to highlight, his contact information, different things of that nature, so, all my contacts, I just started because he could play. So, man, what I did was, and he worked hard. A lot of stuff he did, he worked hard. So what I did was I just started calling all the coaches. I said, Greg, listen, any opportunity you get, act like it's your best opportunity. Don't shun no opportunities away. Because I feel like a lot, some kids, oh, man, it's D3, it's D2. That D3 or that D2 coach could be a D1 coach one day.
One day, right.
Right?
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
they leave here, move up, and they can remember you.
Yeah, so like as far as so we we just hit up all the schools. We went from the ODAC to the CIAA. He started picking up a lot of D2 offers, which a lot of D2 offers give out scholarships. Then he started getting the Division I JUCO offers.
Okay.
So I had an unsigned, so he had about like 18, 19 offers, like small schools. So I had an unsigned senior showcase. I do every year. For like 20 years, I have an unsigned senior showcase where I invite all the college coaches, the D2, D3s, NEIAs, JUCOs, like Division Ones. They could watch it online. So I said, Greg, man, I need you in this thing. Let's pack it out with the coaches, because he was one of the top players that's still out there. He said, man, look, I'm gonna pull up. So what it did, and it not only helped him, but it helped other people get exposure. So because if he had 8 or 9 coaches, and I think it was a little bit over 20 coaches in the gym that day. So if like 8 or 9 coaches and he only can pick one, them other 8 or 9 coaches could look at the other kid. You know what I mean? So man, that was so he did that's the same year which you remember Ramar Wright played at Union being CJ? That Ramar didn't have no offers. That's the same day that Virginia Union offered Ramar the full ride. So now Ramar, look at the career he had at Union. Just coming to that that one unsigned senior showcase. So Greg did that. So Greg started to pick up interest. So he did the All-Star game, did a couple of things of that nature. After that, his first offer was VMI. He took that and ran with it. So had a great career at VMI. He hit the transfer portal. So then again, coaches was blowing my phone up, and I was like, I'm talking about like everybody, cause they want an older guy. I think Greg was like 22, 23 at the time. He got his degree. So I mean, them schools, man, they was like, I'm talking about like all the high major guys were like, man, how can we get this guy? And I was just like, here, his number. So he ended up having a great career in South Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He playing overseas, man. Shout out to him, man. He just been putting the work in.
He has.
And he just a pillow. He make us be OGs. Like he just a pillow in the community.
Right.
Like I just love what he doing. Like he trained the kid this summer. He got his own training company. Now he back at overseas for his third year. And playing professional ball, A-level ball. So he definitely one of my greatest stories that I could
That was a good one.
enjoy.
That was a good one because we kind of see, because he's the same class of my son at 17, and you could see that class with Pinky Wiley and all those guys that was in that class that was late bloomers. They were still trying to find places.
All them guys was
Yeah, they was good.
I love that 017 class, man. It was a great group.
And I tell people, I said it was really tough, and I think that 17 year was the last really good year because you had a lot of good players in that class that went on, to do some great things. 18 was good. You had, the Jason Wades and all those guys came in there.
Rossier.
But that's it, Rossier. But technically, when you really look back, Wade and Rossier should have been in 17 because they reclassed.
Yeah.
See, that's why I tell people that 17 class was different. See, I know.
They did. Yeah.
Trust me, because it hurt my son. He like those guys was good, but like, hey man, you son, you got to jump those guys. And, hey man, they in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was. What about a girl? Can you have a female?
Yes.
That's similar to a Greg?
Yes. I like this part because she chose. I like this part because she chose her professionalism, academic part.
Okay.
And she's a principal at she's a doctor, and she's a principal at Providence Middle School. Her name is Keisha White.
Yeah.
She's class of 07.
Yeah. I remember her. I used to see her on social media a lot, but I don't see her no more.
Yeah. So she played at Clover Hill. This one they were letting me use Chesterfield Community.
Right.
I started with the girls. And I don't think you remember Dave Copeland, the one that passed away.
I don't think I remember.
Oh yeah, well he, Toby Campbell, Coach
The
Campbell.
name sound familiar.
Yeah, but they used to let me use community too. Shout out to Coach Campbell. But they used to let me use community, so that's when I started working with the girls. I started doing like open gyms and stuff like that. So St. Aug was in there. Her and there was about 3-4 other girls. Allison Sykes. There was a couple other girls. So they man, she said I want all 4 of them. So Keisha White, man, she took it. Went there first year. She made like made CIAA all rookie team. Had great 4 years.
Okay.
All honor CIAA everything. I think as far as her academic part, I was just like she just kept going with it. She ended up getting her master's, and then she ended up when you look at it like, man, she a doctor. Then she got her doctorates.
Mm-hmm.
Then you like, man, hold up. She a principal at
Yeah, and then she was out there. Ain't that the same chick that was out there like doing? I said chick, but young lady that she was lifting weights. She was doing a weightlifting contest. Okay, I knew it. Okay, yeah, I thought it was her. Yeah, man, she came a long way, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, she up here lifting weight, like doing weightlifting contests, but it was like, wow, and she's a principal.
Man, she's an assistant principal at Providence Middle School.
I said, hey, I know you. You the girl that was. Yeah. I was like, yeah. So I was like, that's a remarkable story. I didn't know that she was connected to you, man. I had no idea.
Yes.
Wow.
Dr. White. That was
yeah, Dr. White now.
Yeah, Dr. White. And I'm like, wow, man, like, just she had, like the open gym, and the coach was like, I'm gonna give her a full scholarship. She jumped on it, and then the rest was history. So that made me feel real good that she doing her thing now.
It is, man. And shout out to you, man, because again, those are the diamonds in the roughs.
Yeah.
And that people that are the roads that grew from the concrete that you don't know, or what I would say the roads that sit in the middle of the valley that you wouldn't expect. I had no idea. Had no idea. Um, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I think I put this in here for a reason. What do you think is the state of girls basketball at the high school and AAU level here in Richmond? And you can't give me no vanilla bubblegum type of answer. You gotta put yourself out there this way without hurting yourself.
And
Putting you in the hot seat
in Richmond or in Virginia?
in the Richmond area. We gonna keep it here.
Well, I shout everybody out for trying to, help the girl, helping the woman. But I feel like I'm gonna keep it 100.
Oh man,
I feel like it can be better. It's saturated. I feel like I feel like there's a lot of it's some resources, but I feel like is a lot of division.
yeah,
I really feel like if the division can come into a whole, I think it could be greater, but it has a long way to go compared to the DMV area.
yeah,
And it's just different out there.
yeah,
We at times in history we had times that it could have juggled up, the to the situations, but I think it can be better, but I think we still have a long way to go. I think over the history of the girls basketball wasn't appreciated like it should be, but the division, I feel like it didn't help that because we actually over the years had a lot of great girls that came out of out this area as a whole. With this new generation, it needs some work in here. It definitely do, and I think because of the division, and it's kind of like saturated.
yeah, yeah. It kind of hurt the brand a lot. And like you said, when you go to the DMV area, man, it just seemed like it is. I don't recall the DMV area. They might say it dropped off, because they know what they got, but I don't really. I've never seen a significant drop off up there, man. We always use them as a guide to go up there. So look, if you want to be good, send your kid up there and see what they can make.
Yes.
So yeah, so no, that's a good answer. I like that. That was a safe,
Yeah.
but good answer on that. What do you think we need to improve basketball as a whole here in the city to keep the talent here? Because we see a lot of kids that are leaving, going to out-of-state schools and stuff like that, high school level. So what would you think that you would need to?
That's a great question. I feel like
And I if you got an answer, you can go ahead and answer. But if I had some examples to kind of help you out and give you that.
I feel like then again we talking about division. I feel like quote unquote. I feel like people. Everybody want to help kids, but it's how you help them the right way. I feel like it's a lot of bad advice given out. Oh, you should go there because this and this. I really feel like I think we have enough resources in here that we all, you know, some people can put their egos to the side, and we can just, help each other as a whole, man. I really think this will definitely be a better place as far as the talent that we got in basketball. Because now is, I'm gonna send my son or I'm gonna send my daughter here, but it might don't be what they expect now, so they come right back here. So I feel like as a whole, if we stick together, even if people got different AAU programs and different things, I get that. But I feel like the division part, I feel like if we come together, which I feel like some people would, but you got to put that to everybody here. We come together. I think majority of people stay here as far as the basketball part here.
Okay. And now and it's a perfect segue into this question. Who are some of the guys that you respect in the boys and girls basketball games that's been doing it here a long time to help kids? Like I said, I can start you off with some people, but
Shout out with you. You know what I mean? I feel like when you at the games, when you interviewing people, they need that. They need that exposure. They need that collaboration. They need that keep it 100 with them.
Appreciate that. I think I'm all the way down the list, but
yeah.
I ain't to there. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Kenny Warren. He came back. TJ. He coaching at TJ. Man, shout out to Coach Ty White at Petersburg. I really felt like he very inspiration as far as like next level national base.
Yeah.
I don't care how he do it. It's national base.
We're a national name here now.
And he's really into it for the to try to help these kids participate at the next level. Who else? Kanard White, Ralph Five Boy Verona, Coach Boom and them.
And Coach Boom, I trust.
A.T. Taylor and all of them. That whole everything they do at Verona, I really respect what they do. I grew up with all them guys. I grew up with Kanard. We played at AAU together. Me and A.T. Played ball. So I really respect what they do as a whole. If I'm gonna tell you a guy, man, that I feel like he definitely should be recognized. I'm one of the types I try to get everybody, quote unquote, like their flowers.
Yeah, we're gonna be parked here for a while because I think we some people. So go ahead.
Manny Harris.
I was hoping you was gonna say him. Yeah, go into that.
Man.
I
I personally want to shout out Manny because he done a lot for me and done a lot to But I want to shout him out because he's about those kids, man. He do a lot in the community. He want to see those kids win. He want to see those kids succeed. I'm glad his daughter doing well. She a top 50 recruit. She got 11, Division Ones, 11 plus. She could get more. But the stuff he do in the community, man, just want to let him know that it's not unnoticed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he do a lot, man. He do a lot in the community, man, and. So shout out to Coach Manny.
Definitely shout out to Coach Manny for real. Manny been doing a lot for a long time. So, he has helped a lot of kids. So I definitely don't disagree there.
I also Coach Lancaster, man.
Okay.
Coach George Lancaster, man. He was like one of my mentors. He'll text me and check on me one here and there.
Okay.
My end of my high school career, that Jonathan Hoggett, Maurice Carter backcourt crazy, but hey, look, yeah, we lost to them.
Okay.
So Land was, he came to me and was like, man, I wish he was at Highland Springs. I like, oh man, I'm gonna see it now, but man, he's very inspirational as far as like he's a guy that I always look up to him. His meekness and his humbleness, like courage, a lot of courage, like courage, to help, do everybody, man. I miss him, man, being on, being out there. But he the OG now, so
Yeah.
he looking under us. So he was a great. It go from like Tyree Evans, I think Tyree. I'm glad Tyree coming,
He coming around now.
coming around. He
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Training. Tyree, Bo Jones, man, Bo was very inspirational to me because he always was like a big brother to me. From high school to college to now just was like just was a great person.
What about you got guys like David Anderson and those guys
Foundation.
like their foundation?
Oh man, David
Yeah.
Anderson. Shout out to David Anderson, man, Foundation.
Rasheen Johnson, he
Me and
like that.
Rashid.
Yeah.
People don't know if Rashid was one of my AAU teammates too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Rashid played ball. He played high school ball. You know what I mean? He went to state. Rashid, you wouldn't know, but he's a big impact as far as girls high school
He
basketball.
sure helped me out.
He's a big impact as far as like, and the thing about it, I like Rashid because he had opportunity. Like he was like, man, promote my daughter, man. You know what I mean? So the girl, I ain't say it was the girls easier, but you know what I mean. Like I had contacts with girls too, Division I, so D2, so I just put her out there, boom. And he always put her daughter in the showcase, but he started to get. I seen it. I seen it with Rashid. He started having growth.
Yeah.
And helping girl basketball. Like now look what he's doing with
TPLS.
yeah, with TPLS with Mike Davis. Shout out to Mike Davis. With TPLS with Mike Davis and then with
The prep girl who.
Prep Girl Hoops, you know what I mean? And he's really passionate about it, man. So now it came from getting him getting advice from me going back and getting advice from him.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
You know
yep.
what I mean?
Him and
So-
Crane. Yep. Crane.
Man, shout out to Coach Crane, man. Crane is a guy that's like he's not from here,
Right.
but he's willing to change a gap for basketball in this area, and he have connections. He have a lot of creativity. He had education experience. He's the head coach of Meadowbrook. Man, Craig, yeah, he's definitely been inspirational. We could talk about Star.
Yep. Yeah, Star. Yeah, definitely. Them. Can't leave them off.
Yeah, shout out to Star. I personally like to shout her out because without I feel like her daughter was bringing her daughter to my events.
Okay.
The young part of my career, doing the showcase events was instrumental because her daughter was a high major.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th grade, 8th grade. So I used to do these NCAA certified events when I had the Division I coaches watch.
Okay.
And I'm talking about like I had like all VCU, Richmond, like Duke, all of them was coming in there. You know what I mean? And Louisville, Virginia Tech, all the Division I coaches coming there. So, but for her to allow her daughter to play that stuff, to bring the coaches in there to help the other girls out. And like even with girls basketball, you can talk about. I think the game changing not only with her is Kalia Johnson.
Yeah, she's another one that Thomas Dale.
Yeah, Kalia Johnson. I think she was personally with my assist career girls. She was a game changer because when she accepted to come to the event, you know, like she broke like I mean the Duke head coach was walking up in there, like she brought all the coaches in there. You know, so it helped like other girls get recruited by the, you know, like the Radfords and the different things of that nature. I'm like Pat Nagumba, played for Duke. Her mama, I mean his mama was like his mama was a Division I coach for a minute.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah. You know, so that it kind of like, you know, like resources, different connections, and different things.
Who else? We got Luke Bond out there.
Oh, Luke.
Like I just thought about that.
But
Like,
yeah, man, Luke, man, AAU teammate, played first year at state. Man, we've been knowing each other since we was kids. Man, very humble guy, man. Arguably, well, arguably the top 5 point guards ever came out this area. I mean, that could be, you know, you got Hagen, shout out to Hagen too.
Right.
Hagen doing some things, man. He been, so, you know, but Luke, man, he's doing a lot, man, in the community, man. Just very humble, man. I know he overseas now.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, wishing him, shout out to CJ Wiggins, man.
Oh yeah, how can we forget about CJ?
Yeah, CJ Wiggins, young,
Yeah, what he doing?
a
Yeah.
youngin', man.
Yeah.
He was another one that, you know, played in some events I had, and just seeing him, you know, just there he had, you know, assistant coach at state, what he doing at 11th Love Day. In this generation,
Yeah. Yeah.
in this generation,
He trying to keep the tradition. He trying to keep it tradition.
you can't.
And you gotta support him.
You gotta support him. He trying. You know, in this generation, we think he doing a good job. So, shout out to CJ.
Yeah,
I hope I ain't missing everybody.
Yeah,
my dad, my brother. Shout out to them.
No doubt, man. Yeah, that goes without saying. No, I think I'm sure maybe some people we forgot about, but please don't excuse us. You know, it is Saturday morning, so we gotta, you know. But we try to get everybody. And for those who we did forget, man, shout out to you guys because again, there's so many people out there that made an impact. But most notably, you had to point out who we, pointed out. So I think you did a great job with that list. But lastly, we're gonna get you out on this, man, because I before we start, I want to give you a personal compliment of how you transform the gym, man. Because I've seen you on Instagram where you was scrubbing the floors and trying to get you a new place. I mean, you like. It's a complete different look, man. So I'm gonna get you to go in here to tell us about, you know, what you're doing now, what's your new location, and what's the plans for the future for us as student athletes.
Man, yeah, it was an honor, man. I had a business partner named Ro.
Okay.
You know, that he wanted, you know, it kind of like just fell in my lap.
Okay.
You know, he wanted me to us collab and do this gym, you know, so he was like, man, let's call it the 6th UT Center. You know, so man, it was an honor, man, because, you know, I just felt like the time was coming. You know what I mean? I won't trying to, you know what I mean? I was just like, you're just patient. Just being patient. You know, to just have a facility. And shout out to my mother because I felt like every day she was calling companies and getting people to sponsor, different things of that nature. We kind of like put it together like as far as like keeping the floors clean. We put a new sink in the gym, like a game system. We provided like a safe haven for kids. Even though we do some basketball events, but we also try to do, different things like birthday parties, try to make it like a boys and girls club type situation.
That's exactly what it seemed like. Yeah.
We try to to bridge the gap because we felt like it was a need in the community. So we still in process and working with it, but it's definitely to this it's definitely appreciated to call yourself you got a home with Jim.
Man, I would say, man, because my son went over there, I want to say sometime in July and played, I guess on a Sunday night or Saturday, some evening, whatever.
Yeah.
And I looked and I dropped him off and I said, let me just go in here and just to see. And man, that place looks so good, man.
Thank you.
I mean, the walls, like you got the bleachers, the floor. Like you have to have some resources to be able to help you to do this stuff because, like you said, you got to have a partner, you got to have a village, and especially over there, man, it looks good. I know you got the ceremony and everything like that, like the front doors. I mean, I think it was more suited for you in a sense because of what you're doing. And and let me clarify that because I don't want anybody to take anything the wrong way. You have a lot of events, and over the years, you have it at the different schools. Like you said, the Meadowbrooks. I remember you had it at Meadowbrook, you have it at Hermitage. And you go from school to school, and you're very fortunate for these schools to be able to allow you to be able to do that. But now to be able to have something that you can call that your own, that you put your baby into, and your resources and your time, and you got people that are just trying to train kids, and like you said, a boys club type atmosphere. Yeah. Kudos to you and your family, man, and the people that surround you, your village who help you, because I don't think we give enough praise, and I say we, which is me included, give enough praise to people like you in regards to that. Because Harry Lee calling me. But shout out to Harry Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because now people can say, man, we want to have an event. I'm gonna call Carter. We can have it in that Carter place. Or I talked to Tyree Evans. Yeah, man, Carter let me use his gym to train some kids and stuff like that. See, one thing that I would say before we get up out here that people don't know, that I continue to say, you don't know who talks to who, and you don't know who's looking. And from afar, even though like when you walk in the gym and I didn't know you, you always walked up to me, hey fam, what's going on? You speak. And this is before, I don't even know if I even had my podcast then, but you always speak and very mannerable and very respectful. And then there's other times where a lot of people may be upset with you because they may not get what they think they should get. And I use the word think.
Yeah.
But the fact is that there's a you out here trying to help people to get to places, and it's up to you to put the work in, because if I get you here, then you have to use what you do to catapult your way where you want to go.
Yes.
And I think we need to give a lot more praise than we do, because you've done a lot. And it may not be the way that people think it should be, but when they realize, and when I say that is, people have that vision of what they think what you should be doing.
Yes.
Until you actually get involved to what you are doing. And then they see how difficult it is. They're like, dang, Carter was right, man. This thing ain't easy, man.
Yes.
It takes up a lot of time,
Yes.
A lot of resources.
Yes.
And you're still doing it at 25 years. I think you ought to be commended for that, bro.
Thank you, man. Yes, thank you.
And
Thank you.
And I say that really, because I think that sometimes you don't realize a good thing until it's gone. But you don't. But now, if you're open-minded and see what you're doing and kind of get rid of the biasness or get rid of your dislikes, or say, well, I don't, because people in our community, we tend to not like something that we don't know.
Yes.
And you are doing a fantastic job, bro. You've been doing it. You've made your share of mistakes. I've made mine doing this podcast. I've seen so many errors and stuff. I mean, it was like, God dang, but you just have to keep pushing. And people expect you to do or say certain things, and then you have to realize, and I'm gonna just use my French, would just say, fuck it, because without me, what would you have?
Yes.
So I want to commend you, man. I'm gonna stick my hand out to you, man.
Thank
you for all that you
Appreciate
do for this area, man, because I didn't realize a lot of the people that you helped out. I've seen it, but I didn't understand the whole program in itself and what it was about. You just see the event, you'll see something pop up on social media, and that's that. And I thank you for giving us an in-depth of what more that you have done and the things that you're doing, and continue to prosper.
Thank you. It was a passion. I just love doing
Do that, man.
Growing up in 804, man, I just love helping kids, and it just became a passion with some experience and good resources, and just still here to the day and just love what I do.
You had to in order to be doing it 20-some years.
Yes.
I
turned down college coaching jobs and all that.
see, and that's what I'm saying. So
I
you know that there's love.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, bro. I can't say I'm gonna be around in 25 years doing this stuff. Because it. So that's why I said I think you ought to be commended.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get with you off screen about something as well, but. Anything about it you want to shout out before we get up out here, man?
Man, shout out to everyone who supported the assist program. Shout out to you, Lee, for giving me the opportunity to be here. Shout out to my mom, my brother. Shout out to all my family, and rest in peace, Dad. I miss you. See it in the new world, but just want to shout out everyone who supported the assist program over the last 20 years. It's been a long journey, and I'm just very blessed, just to be a part of some people's lives, a small part of some people's lives. So I'm just grateful.
No, hey man, that was well said. Well, y'all, everybody, I want y'all to know again. Thank y'all for supporting what BallinVA does. I'm trying to get infused to this new studio, man. I'm looking around and it just ain't the same, but it's much better, and we're going in a different direction. And thank you for being my first guest in the new studio, man, because I get to bring it in, but I didn't get to break it in, like that. It's going to take me about 2 or 3 episodes. I ain't gonna lie, because I had to walk in here and sit here. I haven't got out of this seat since I left.
Oh,
since
wow.
I got here.
Okay.
He'll tell you. I just sat here just trying to figure it out. But yeah, this is the new home now. So now you know where we at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no.
Right next to Columbia.
Yeah, I know, right? So no, I appreciate you. Everybody, make sure you go out there and hit that like, subscribe button, man. That's definitely how we keep the lights on. And here again, I'm your host, Lee Merritte, and we are out. Appreciate y'all watching the episode again today, y'all. Go over, make sure that y'all check out my man, Stockel.com for any of your home buying needs. Appreciate it. Thanks again.